Good evening again, City Council, Chuck Nile, 1966 Pinehurst Road. Where were you in 1984? Think about it, 1984. That's when Jeff Parks came into this establishment. And he said more or less, I'm taking over Christmas City Fair. You remember Christmas City Fair? Man, that was great. The rain came down, we still made French fries and everything else. Everybody was having a good time. But Jeff Parks was coming in and he was going to make big goings on. He was going to do great things for the city. Financially, what has Jeff Parks done for the city? Tell me. He's a non-profit making organization. And if you go on the web, I understand, with non-profits in the state of Pennsylvania, you'll see he runs like a $35 to $39 million operation in our city. And we let him do it for nothing, except he pays for his police and garbage pickup and so and so. So now you're going to tell me you're giving him steel sacks. And you're giving PBS over there, which is another non-profit making organization. That's taking money out of my pocket, my kids' pockets, and everybody else. I'm tired of it. I won't be long on this earth too many years, but my kids will. They want to live here in Bethlehem. I think it's a great city. That's why I moved here from Allentown. Then, it was great. Now I'm not too sure. Then again, let me ask you this. Remember this newspaper? Morning Call, Wednesday, December 23rd, 2009. Bethlehem Council passes no tax hike budget. That's the second one you passed. Are you going to pass another one that's coming up? How can the city afford no tax budgets? You're going to do all these great things over here, build all this great stuff, but you're passing no tax budget. All you're doing is digging the hole bigger, bigger, and bigger. What do we here, city, have to tell you to do? To say enough is enough. Stop. I can't figure people out. 2 plus 2 is 4. It never was 5, school teacher. It never was 8, which it is now in your comprehension. 2 plus 2 is 8. You think you can just, where does this money come from? Christmas tree? This used to be called Christmas City. I haven't heard that in a long time. I hear Sands Casino now. Sand, sand, sand. Money, money, money. Terrible. Gentlemen, ladies, pull up your belt buckles. Say no. Don't be afraid. It's good to say no. Once in a while you should go to confession. Even that's good. It helps. Thank you. And believe me, unless you change, you won't see me again.
Thank you, Mr. Burns.
Albert, House 1004 Johnston Drive. Just wanted to really bring the council update on the Lies Farmers Market, the variance that was granted by the zoning hearing board. And I kind of waffled as to whether or not I was going to speak tonight. But we had some interesting incidences occur today. to let you know, we are not in receipt of any decision from the court yet. So that's quite a while, but we just sit back as citizens and wait. There's nothing else we can do. But that was the only thing I was going to tell you tonight. But then, and I know you're in receipt of a letter from Attorney Mickey Thompson that's addressed to Judge Smith, who heard our appeal. I think everybody up at council has this by now. And basically, Mr. Thompson is highlighted the fact that there has been no decision, that there have been several negative articles and comments directed at the zoning hearing board, that the zoning hearing board evidently is going to 5 from 3 members, and that the board is changing, and the Elias case is the nexus for such manipulation. Kind of strong words from Mr. Thompson. I don't think that the Elias case is a nexus for going to 5 members, and I believe that it was brought up that the zoning ordinance was going that direction anyway with 5 members, so that was nothing new. You know, I made a few comments, and some folks took some action, which I appreciate. I didn't expect to go to 5 members right away. I just made my comments, okay? I'm tickled that it's happened. And my only point would be that we should have 3 members being able to take a vote there, and it shouldn't get below 3. Now, Mr. Thompson stated in his opening sentence, please be advised that I have been asked by the zoning board of the city of Bethlehem to contact you, and he's addressing this to Judge Smith. Now, I didn't go down to Judge Smith. No one that I know of as a resident went to Judge Smith. We're just waiting for him to make a decision. Now, Mr. Thompson represents the zoning hearing board, and this letter says that he had been asked by the zoning hearing board. He also states in this letter that the zoning hearing board is not a political organization, not a political office. So why is the zoning hearing board strong-arming Judge Smith? Why don't they just wait for him to make a decision? Now, if the zoning hearing board is not strong-arming Judge Smith, then is Attorney Thompson using his influence with the zoning board to strong-arm somebody, strong-arming the judge in writing? I mean, they're not even sneaking down to the county courthouse to talk to him privately. He put it in writing. I think it's terrific. The board requested that I contact you so this case may be resolved. Of course, everyone wants it resolved. Can you please let me know when we can expect the decision to be filed? I think when the judge is ready. We're waiting. We're anxious. And regardless of whatever decision Your Honor renders, the board desires to know what the next course of action is. Absolutely no common sense. Of course we want to know what the next course of action is, but you have to wait for the decision. So my point is that it seems to me that the tail is wagging the dog on the zoning hearing board, or the zoning hearing board is not taking charge of what they do. And I know they're basically volunteers, and they only get paid $25 a meeting, but they need to not be so active politically with this situation. They're accusing individual citizens of being active politically. It raises another interesting point. On August 26th, in 2009, Mr. Thompson was the attorney for the zoning hearing board, and he heard an appeal of Abraham Attaya, and he heard also Elias Farmers Market. Evidently, Mr. Thompson is on Mr. Ataya's payroll. My question is, when did Mr. Thompson go on Ataya's payroll? Before August 26, 2009, or after August 26, 2009? And if he went on before, or even if he went on afterwards, was there any communication between them? And he's sitting at the zoning hearing board as the solicitor listening to an appeal by Mr. Ataya. Is he influenced at all by that? So he becomes his employee later on. Does Ataya know Joe Elias, Gus Elias, and George Azar? I don't know, I don't need proof, but I think they're friends. Was Mickey Thompson a disinterested party on August 26th? I didn't want to raise all these issues. I had notes in my file about all of this stuff, but I was just going to leave it in the file until I saw this letter today. I don't know if Mickey Thompson was on Abraham Ataya's payroll August 26th, but according to newspaper accounts, he's certainly on payroll now. So I'm just letting you know what's going on, and it's really, really annoying.
Any other public comment?
Thank you.
Tony Sameo, 1135 East 3rd Street in Bethlehem. There was just a few things that I wanted to bring up. The President of Council actually stated that you read the article in the Express Times about the live feed. I would like to encourage Council not to just look at live streaming the meetings, but also archiving them, so they would be accessible at any point in time in the future. Also, there's always under unfinished business this establishing Article 1716, landmarks and property of historical interest. What is the status of that, if any at all?
Status of that is that, I believe, I make an error, Mr. Olin, please correct me, but we're waiting for the final zoning revised ordinance to come, and there should be a clause in there dealing with historical building demolition.
Okay.
The next meeting is at the end of this month, and I think it might be one of the final meetings before they present what they have to the zoning office, and then it's going to be incorporated into the new zoning laws.
Okay.
And then that will come to City Council for review and debate and public comment before we would vote on it.
Okay. The other thing that kind of has to do with that and with the steel stacks project that was voted on, the blast furnaces, it has come to my attention, I'm a board member of the South Bethlehem Historical Society, and it has come to my attention that they haven't been inspected in at least 12 to 15 years. There were actually blast furnaces similar to that in Ohio, which were going to be preserved. And on a very stormy night, there was a security guard that was driving his truck, and a piece of it fell off, hit the truck, and injured the security guard. Within weeks, they were demolished. I think it would be a shame to have possibly the same thing happen to the blast furnaces here. So I would like to request that possibly having those looked at again, inspected, and made somewhat of a priority, especially with all this money being shuffled around, that they be preserved as quickly as possible so that that wouldn't happen. And that's basically it.
Thank you. Any other comments? This meeting's adjourned.